Let's talk about Heated Rivalry, which is undoubtedly one of the most talked about TV shows of the end of last year, beginning of this year, and I think it's just going to grow in popularity as we get forward into this year and the new book comes out. This is created by Jacob Tierney based on the books by Rachel Reid of the same name. I believe they're using the name of the second book here. And this is a show that I had been seeing a lot of people talk about, and I hadn't really had the time to jump into it, and I did last week. Finished the whole season last week. Now, some people finish it in a day. As you can see, the NHL commissioner finished it in a night. But this is one of those shows that just is so great. As you watch each episode, you're going to itch to want to watch the next one. And it is just because of the brilliant writing that it has, the incredible chemistry that Hudson Williams and Storrie have, as well as just an amazing story of romance that brews between these two that is just indescribable. You have to see it to believe it. So first and foremost, let's get on with what I really loved about this show. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We're trying to reach 50,000 subscribers this year, so let's get to it. So Heated Rivalry revolves around these two characters of Rozanov as well as Hollander, who are competitive hockey players, right? They're starting their rookie season and they are on opposite teams. They're supposed to be pitted against each other because of the media is how they perceive these teams. But what we see unfold is a romance between the two that is just off the charts. Like, there is no denying there is an attraction here. There is no denying that there are some feelings that are not spoken, and ultimately when these things boil over, they boil over and they create this huge like love. But once these feelings really boil over, there is no way that you can contain them and they just explode. You see throughout the show as they try to keep the relationship undercover, because first and foremost there is a ton of homophobia at the time, and I mean it's still homophobia rampant today. There is a sort of like narrative that they have together as being just rivals, and imagine if people found out that they were in love, and you have all of these things going against them, but at the same time there is still this competitiveness to them, a rivalry of sorts that is brewing, and it is really great seeing both of these things contrast. I want to give flowers out to Storrie first, because he really like blew me away. I thought that he was Russian. I'm not gonna lie, when I first watched the show, I don't really watch interviews or anything like that, and so when I went to find an interview, I was blown away that he does an incredible Russian accent here and also speaks Russian with such ease. Apparently people that speak Russian and everything also say this, and I think he's incredible here because he also has to give a convincing Russian accent, Russian dialogue, and he also at the same time has to be convincing. You know, to be an actor is really hard, and to be a good actor is incredibly difficult. But Storrie really flows through this with such ease. It is just beautiful to see. And I'm gonna give also Hudson Williams his flowers. He is amazing. He does a great job at playing Hollander here, who is a very complex character, a character that is feeling so many emotions of who he thinks he should be, who he wants to be, and who he sees the world sees him as, and he's trying to navigate all of that at the same time, finding his sexuality and trying to keep this relationship with Rozanov, and just not really knowing where to go from here. And he plays this character incredibly well, and it is heartbreaking at times. This show really goes through all of the emotions. It can be erotic, it can be steamy, it can be romantic, and at the same time it can be cold, it can be sad, and just really takes you through all of these things, and it is just exhilarating all at the same time, because it still has that sports vibe to it where it's competitive and it's trying to be aggressive, and all of these things mixed together can be kind of hard to navigate and make them flow and work. But I think that here Jacob Tierney and the team really do an amazing job. The cinematography here is beautiful as well. The editing is on another level as well, as we get scenes juxtaposed with other ones, and it really adds tons of more layers. The music choices are impeccable here as well, that really take the show through the stratosphere, honestly, with the music choices. I think if you're looking for that show that is going to give you all of these things and you were really hoping for a good romance, this is definitely it. The drama, everything, it is just working so well. There's some other actors here as well I want to give a shout out to. François Arnaud and Robbie G.K. Sophie Nélisse, who is a surprise I saw here, who of course you may know as Shauna from Yellow Jackets, has a bit of a role towards the end, and I thought her role was really great. I think she's a tremendous actress, and I'm excited to see more of her if she is definitely in season 2. But like I said, Hudson Williams here and also Storrie are the true like stars of the show. They really have a chemistry that is undeniably some of the best chemistry I've seen between two actors in a long time, and that chemistry chemistry is what you really need to develop a great romance. And I think Heated Rivalry really exceeded my expectations a ton when I was hearing about it. You know, nowadays you hear about shows, TV, movies, all of that, music even, and you're just like, it might just be hype. People hype things up all the time. And then you sit down and you watch it and you're just like, no, the hype wasn't even enough. This show deserves a lot more. And I hope to see this show continue to grow, blossom. I'm excited for season 2. I'm ready to read the next book in Rachel's Game Changer series. But I definitely do think that Heated Rivalry is the big deal that everybody's making it out to be, I've heard from. And it is a show that you have to watch. It is incredibly done and just one of those that I will never forget. There are scenes in here that are just undeniably some of the best things I've seen from a romance. And I truly believe that Hudson Williams and Connor Storrie becoming these overnight stars is warranted and needed because they truly are showcasing just how bright the media landscape looks for TV, movies, whatever. I'm very excited to see both of these actors' trajectory, their career, and how they move forward from this series because I think they have a bright future ahead of them, both of them. Overall, it's 6 episodes, and I believe they're under an hour each, so pretty much easily digestible, but it's not to say in a way that where it's just like junk food TV or anything like that. I'm saying that it flows and it's so seamless in its approach, and it's just incredible storytelling. So I will make a spoiler video for Heated Rivalry, which we will talk about later this week, because I want to get into spoilers with this. I want to talk about certain moments. So stay tuned for that video if you've already watched Heated Rivalry and you want to discuss some of the big things that happen in the show. We'll have that video out later this week. But this was just my non-spoiler review, just giving you a heads up that this show is out and it is truly some of the best TV I've seen in years. I think what this show really is great at is really making yearning a thing and really showcasing love in a way that just feels so natural, and the way that attraction works between people and not feeling like it's preaching or trying to do anything like that to you. It is just a story about 2 individuals that have fallen in love, and it's showing you just how the world can be to them because of their sexuality and all of that, but it's not trying to put you into a corner with it, you know, where it feels preachy and it doesn't feel natural. It feels natural here. It feels amazing to see a refreshing story about these 2 gay people that are just trying to make it work in a world that's not letting them make it work. And it is just a beautiful story about persevering through all of that and still trying to uphold that love that they hold for one another. And I thought that they did it in such an exceptional way here in Heated Rivalry. So I'm excited to talk more with you. Stay tuned for more reviews and movies and video games, music, all the stuff you love. But Heated Rivalry, huge thing. But as always, that's going to do it for me on the road to 50,000 subscribers. Let's get to it. As always, stay safe, stay positive.